This is my Yamaha CVP 605. I've had it a few years, but it's beginning to give me a little issue with one of the notes. I'll just turn it on. And it's the middle F that's causing me a problem. It's very loud. So I think what I need to do is to replace one of the what they call rubber contacts, which is something like that, which I bought on eBay and hopefully will sort me out. So the rest of the video will be to do with replacing this, just to give you an idea of how to do it if you have the similar sort of problem. I'll stop now and start to move this thing in a position where I can start dismantling. Right, I've moved the piano into the middle of the room, and at the back there are 3 screws at the top. And 2, 4, 6, 8 screws at the bottom. So I'm going to take those out and get the back off. Now, having undone the top 3 screws has released the top, and the top actually slides forward, which then enables you to actually remove it completely. So that's my next job. Right, I've removed the top, which is very easy, and there you can see the inside, and you can see the back side of the keyboard with the weights there. My next job is to get access to the actual keyboard itself. You gain a little bit more access by pulling back the cover. And at each end there is a slot in the wood, as you can see, just here and here, and it's a matter of manoeuvring the lid until the little pegs that are sticking out in there, which I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little peg inside there. Once they line up with the slot, you can then pull up that, which then gives access to the rear of the keyboard and all the screws that we need to undo to release the keyboard. Once you get access to the rear of the keyboard, you can then see a number of screws that are going to have to be removed, along with these brackets that need to be removed as well. So that's my next job, is to undo all of those screws. Okay, the first thing I've done here is to loosen these brackets. There's a cable here and a cable here that is tied to that bracket. So I'm going to have to just undo these 2 screws here and here so that the bracket can actually stay in position, but not be in the way when I want to do the next stage. Well, I've taken out the brackets apart from these that are held on by the cable, and the felt plate, which is now standing there at the moment. The next job is to release all the screws at the back of the keyboard here, so that I can actually then remove the keyboard. Okay, the next job really is to remove this cover completely. There's a spring there and a spring at the other end, which at the moment are on tension. So what we need to do is to just ease that back until the spring is off tension, and then there's a screw at the bottom of that axle arrangement, that pin arrangement. We'll undo one of those screws, and that then should just simply pull out, and we do that at both ends, and then I can then tackle those 3 screws there. If I do it with the spring on tension, I'll have problems, I think. So we'll do that first. Having taken out the pins, the springs are now loose, which makes removing these brackets a lot easier, so I can get into removing the rest of this from the keyboard itself. I've released these screws, the 3 screws that are on this bracket now, and what's stopping this from lifting up and coming out of the way is the fact that this needs to just rotate round like that, so that the spring and the bracket is out of the way. So I've just got to repeat that exercise on this side where I haven't taken the screws out. Once that's done, this top section is ready to be lifted off. The only thing I need to then worry about is the cables, so I'll have to sort something out for that. So we'll see how we get on. Right, I've released that at each end, so I can now pull this top over. What I don't want to do is disturb these 2 cables, so I've put a clamp there and another clamp at the other end, so that when I fold the top back towards me, it can rest on there, and then I can tackle the keyboard after that. Okay, well, I've now lifted the lid section onto the brackets. As you can see there, it's being held there, which then gives me access into the keyboard. This is the inside from the front. My next job is to remove this, and there's one little screw located here somewhere. Yeah, just there. So needs to be taken out, and the same on this side. There's another screw. Let's put that inside there for a minute. Another small screw just there, so I'll take those out now. Right, now having removed that block and this block at the end, it's just those 2 small screws. The keyboard is now almost ready to lift out. As you can see, it's free. The only thing I need to worry about is there is a cable connecting the keyboard to the electronics with a plug. I just need to disconnect, which is underneath. I don't know if I can show you that. It's this plug here. I just need to disconnect that, and then the keyboard can come out. I think that's everything. Yeah. So that's my next job. Right, the keyboard is out of the piano now, and I've put it on another worktop and turned it upside down. The key that's given me the trouble is I've marked with a tape, which is a middle F, and the key is this one here. And if I remember rightly, the pads are behind this printed circuit board. So I need to remove the printed circuit board by undoing a few more screws. There are plenty of screws in this exercise, so I hope you've made note of where they come from, because that's the problem I'm going to have, I think, when I put the thing back together again, but we'll see. Well, I've undone the screws of the board of the affected area, and there you are. You can see the pads there. On this particular one, they seem to be in small bits, whereas I've got a continuous strip to put in, so I just need to sort out how I'm going to do that, but I think it's going to be easy enough. So I just got to take that off and put the new one on, and then put it all back together again. Well, the old one came out easy enough. That's the old one. This is a new one in the bag, so I'm just going to try and put the new one in. This is the underside of the printed circuit board, and you can see where the contacts are. So the next job is just to insert the rubber strip back onto these. I think I might give them a bit of a clean first, just to make certain we have no dirt or anything like that on there. So I'll do that next, and then I'll put the strip on, and then hopefully put it all back together again. Having struggled for quite a bit to get this new rubber in, I hadn't realised that there is a ridge along here that actually goes into a slot at the back here, along here. So once that's in position, it fixes it so that you can just fix the printed circuit board back again. So I'm just about to do that now. I had a bit of trouble sighting the rubber strips because the weights were actually pushing onto the pads. So what I've done is I've put some knives in just to hold the weights while I fitted back the pads under here, which made life so much easier. So there's a tip for you if you've got the keyboard upside down doing this job, which you've got to do anyway. So hopefully when I put it back we'll be okay. Well, once you get the rubber strips positioned correctly, which I was struggling to do earlier on, I've now replaced the screws in the printed circuit board. I haven't needed to disturb any of the cabling on here, so that's the job done. So all I've got to do now is put it all back together again. Let's see how we do. Okay, I've now put the key bed back into the piano. I haven't fixed it. I've just connected it with that plug at the bottom that I showed earlier on, and I thought I'd give it a try before I put everything else back together again, just in case I've got to strip it out again. But here we go. Yeah, that's fine. Next job is to put it all back together again. I think all in all it's taken me about a little over an hour to do the job, which wasn't too bad. So I hope this has helped you if you got the similar sort of problem with your piano, and thank you for watching.